Incumbent Governor Greg Abbott continues to maintain his lead over challenger Beto O'Rourke, according to results of the latest poll released by Nexstar and Emerson College. It shows Abbott winning 50% of likely voters, 8 points ahead of O'Rourke's 42. The poll was conducted Monday. Abbott leads by 8 points on average when you consider 5 other recent polls from news organizations across our state, which brings urgency to tonight's live debate between Abbott and O'Rourke. To show us what to pay attention to, Dr. Travis Braidwood, a political science professor over at Texas A&M University, Kingsville, joins us live to discuss. Dr. Braidwood, always a pleasure. Thank you for making time to be with us this morning. What will you be paying attention to closely tonight, and what questions do you think they'll be asked?
Well, I think what's going to come down to for both of these candidates is looking at what issues they want to focus on that will give them that electoral advantage. So if you're O'Rourke, he's going to be wanting to focus on the mass shooting issues, control over that, the response of the governor to fail to respond to it, and then of course attacking him for things like the electric grid. If you're Abbott, on the other hand, you have a commanding lead, so really you're just trying to avoid making any major gaffes. You want to focus on immigration, which is currently ranked the highest and most important issue for Texas voters, and then he's also going to focus heavily on the economy. You
mentioned immigration, but also abortion for some time a couple of weeks ago was the primary topic, and I know that Beto O'Rourke has released a lot of commercials on that topic, where you have Abbott that's been releasing gun control measures, saying, Beto's against those.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So this is one area where you can see that most Texans are closer aligned to Beto O'Rourke's stance, where he's trying to claim that, this blanket ban by Abbott is just, completely outside of the normal mainstream. And then just as you said, Abbott's trying to frame Beto O'Rourke as hardline and even extreme on gun rights, such to the point that that is out of lockstep with most Texas voters. So it's more about framing those arguments to try and make the other look totally out of step with the average Texas voter.
You mentioned mass shootings, especially the ones at schools. We know tonight that parents from Uvalde are making the trek down to the valley to protest outside, actually, not discuss, but protest, demonstrate outside that debate, calling for Abbott to issue a special session and also address gun safety issues and school campus safety. Do you think those will play a role into what's going on? Do you think Beto will try to capitalize on that?
We know for sure Beto wants to, because he's holding a press conference just prior to the debates. And just as you said, he's been trying to get these parents and their dissatisfaction with Abbott's response to mass shootings out on the forefront. The downside is that it's hard to get a lot of traction when the race is already so far along, and we have the debates that are not going to have probably a huge viewership anyway. So for Beto, he's trying to capture that media attention.
Okay, Dr. Braidwood, we do appreciate your insight. Thank you so much for making time to be with us this morning. If you want to follow that debate, Barbie's going to have the details right now. Dr. Braidwood, thank you so very much again.